Again, all those people who are trained swimmers, hands up. Thank you. We've got one. Okay? So basically, the technical things have not been laid down within your pubescent side of things. So we're talking about puberty, is that's when, as the Germans will say, what you don't have at birth can be picked up somewhat at puberty. Okay, so once you've got those motor patterns in place at puberty, then they basically stay with you for the rest of your life. Again, it goes back to what we said before, the motor neuron facilitation, or the nervous system being able to replicate a particular thing. It's enhanced greatly through puberty. Same as strength is enhanced greatly through puberty. Okay, so you find those guys, when I ask that question, is because if you've biked through that period and that's been your major thing, you can guarantee if there's any chance of you getting a feel of the pedals, that's the time it's going to happen. If you happen to be a runner and you're working through that particular area, again, that's the time that you will get the most benefit for your buck. So if we have gone through swimming and we haven't done that, basically we don't have the lines of communication. If we look at it like electricity or like a telephone line, they're not laid there. They're not natural to you. That's why some kids or people who've trained for like 4 years as swimmers have 10 years off, come back into sport, and within 8 months everybody hates them if they're in your own group because they're all swimming like sharks. And you go, Jesus Christ, I haven't swam for 10 years. It doesn't matter. Tom hasn't trained for 10 years either. Dives in the water and everybody goes, oh shit, wish I could do that. Okay? It's because they had those skills implanted in them when they were younger. Alright, so we don't have that to deal with. So what I say is break it back to the teaching aspect of it. If I can teach a 4-year-old to swim, how come I can't teach you? Do you think I sit there and talk about Bernoulli's principle to the 4-year-old? What you need is you need keys that they understand and they can relate to. Because the beautiful thing about children is their brains are not full of educational bullshit at that age. So basically you can say little things to kids and they will just pick it up without any thought pattern of why. So if you say to a kid, okay, put your thumb in the water first, they'll just do that. They won't say, why do I put my thumb in the water first? They don't say, will it give me a shoulder problem if I put my thumb in the water first? They will not ask, what angle do you want your hands in the water? And they just basically just put their thumb in. And wherever's natural to them, if you say put it in at your shoulder, they will just put it in. Some kids will put it in like this, some kids will put it in like that. I've seen a guy swim 1503 and hit with the back of his hand when he puts his hand in the water. As I said to you, world's greatest distance swimmer, hit with his elbow and put his hand in. Okay? Because it's not a fundamental. And what I'm trying to get across to you is I'm breaking away, because you'll all go away here from here being a better swimmer, understanding that all the stuff you're taught is basically to make you feel like that you're getting your money's worth. Because when you go back to teach learn to swim, what do you tell kids? If you've ever taken kids, you put them on a kickboard, how do you teach them to breathe? Ear bubbles. But if I wrote that on my blog and said ear bubbles, everybody'd say, oh, well, he's a moron. Okay? But you don't say to the children, you turn your head to the right hand side, put your left ear in the water, but they don't get it. But if you say ear, breathe in, bubbles, blow out, automatically the linguistics makes it very simple to them. So I want you to understand that I'm not going to talk much on technique, if I talk at all on technique, because the technique is not important. Everybody here, it's not important. There's 3 much more important things for you swimming faster as a non-age group than technique. So of course I make fun of it because Tom's not here at the moment, so don't tell him, that one of these website geniuses employed me, or employed Trisato, to write articles. So we were doing very nice, everybody was very happy, and they said, we'd like you to write an article on what's the 3 most important things for the challenged age group are to swim fast. So of course, me being me, I just thought very altruistically, oh, okay, I'll do that. And Tom said, make it good because we want to really make an impression. I said, okay. So I really spent some time and I sat down and wrote a page on each 3 things and we send it off. And the next thing, the thing doesn't get published, and then Tom says to me, they've wrote back and said you didn't send the article. I said, I did send the article. They said they wanted 3 points and you haven't mentioned technique in any of the points. And I said, no, that wasn't the question. The question was the 3 most important things for people to improve their swimming. He said, yes, well, where's technique? I said, not in the top 3. So then he wrote back, and they wrote back, and he said, I've fixed it, I've solved it. Now, don't be a smart ass. They want the top 5 things. So, of course, I am a smart ass. So I wrote the 5, and I sent it back to them, and then it was Tom said, what are you doing? They just sent it back, and they're not going to work with us anymore. So why? I said, because you didn't put technique in the top 5 things. So of course I said, Tom, what do you want me to do? Bend over and lather up? Because it's not in the top 5 things. I've seen people swim 16:03 with 2 dropped elbows. As I said to you, I've seen a girl take 72 strokes. You think I want to write that up? I'll have Sarah McClarty, that couldn't hold her swim togs, write and say, that's not how to swim. Okay? So let's go through it bit by bit because we want to prove. Because the first thing I want to tell you is we have to make it simple. I don't care if you're a rocket engineer. I don't care if you're an aircraft controller. Okay? You have got to understand, if you want to get the best out of your fallible bodies and your incredibly delicate minds, that exact science is not the way to improve physical movements. So you want to get that into your head, because if you sit in front of a computer screen for 9 hours a day, you're going to believe that there is a formula that x equals pi equals squared. Okay, that'll make me swim faster because I'm an intelligent guy or girl with an IQ of 130. Well, I can tell you, the higher your IQ, the less chance there is of me making you a better swimmer. Because those little 5-year-old kids, they don't have any at that particular stage. But they all swim up and down and we all get jealous because we watch them. Look at the kids and there's 8 in a lane. Are they all super talents? No, they're just following simple movement instructions that every age group learn to swim teacher is taught to teach. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 points. Okay? So when we go into the swimming, I want you to understand that it's so easy, I don't even have to talk about technique. Because it's so simplistic. Because it's exactly the same as I teach the kids is how I try to teach you guys. And guess what? You all enjoy it. Okay? So the first important thing, we'll do the 3 things that we didn't talk about. If you're doing half Ironman and Ironman, the most important thing you can do to improve your swimming is go to the pool. Because I get so many people say to me, I say, how many times do you swim? I swim twice. I say, well, really, that's not enough to do an Ironman and to improve your swimming. Yes, but I've got no time. Why? Well, let's have a look at your time factor. So straight away, I say, forget about your bike and your run times. Let's have a think of what else you do. Well, I've got my gym. I do 2 times a week because that makes me very strong so I can swim faster. So I do 2 1-hours at gym. I have also do my, some people do now Pilates or my hot yoga because that really works on my flexibility. So far we're up to 3 hours, and I get a massage for an hour once a week. So there's 4 particular sessions, but they haven't got any time to swim. Let me tell you, the Pilates isn't going to make you swim faster. It's not going to stop you getting injured. Going to the gym, we already worked out, we're going to swim 4,000 strokes. So go into the gym and doing gym work is not going to make you swim faster. Oh, but it's going to strengthen up my muscles in the right area. Well, let me tell you, you go to the gym and you walk in and you've got the private trainer, the old swolger. So look at me, I know, swim muscles, I got that. Let's do lat pull downs. You've all seen them in your book, all the triathletes. There's the big swim muscle for you, lat pull down. So okay, very good. But remember who we're dealing with. We challenge swimmers. What's our biggest problem? Our technique in the water. So we get there, if I do a lat pull down, okay, what are we doing? There's a lat pull down. Want to go behind your head? Oh, I can do that too, as long as there's no weight on it. I can do it in front. What's a lat pull down? It's a learn to drop your elbows every time you swim stroke. Learn to drop your elbows. We're actually doing positive reinforcement to swim with a dropped elbow. So, am I going to argue with the swolger that it's not a swim muscle? Of course it's a swim muscle, but it's not the swim technique. So you're actually practicing to swim badly. So then some of them I can get across to, not a lot, but some of them say, oh, they go, I get that. Righto, so let's find another one. And then they go, seated rows. There we go. That's the one. It's getting our tricep, it's getting here. That'll teach us to swim faster. What are we teaching ourselves? Drop the elbows, drop the elbows, drop the elbows. What's all swim coaches' favourite thing if they're not a tri-sutter? You're dropping your elbow! Well, what I try to do is teach the coaches to do stuff that they don't drop their elbow. So you don't have to run around the pool yelling out, you're dropping your elbow, because isn't that positive reinforcement again? You're dropping your elbow. What are we positively reinforcing? That you're a dickhead and you can't swim good. So when he yells out, you're dropping your elbow, what he's saying is, you're swimming shit, you're swimming shit, you're swimming shit. That's the way you relate to it. That's what you draw out of it. Do you understand what I mean? Oh my God, I'm making a mistake. Oh my God, I'm making a mistake. Meanwhile, you're thinking, I've got to have my head in the right position. I've got to have my elbow up. I've got to make sure I put my hand in the right spot. I've got to make sure I do this. I've got to make sure I've got my body roll. That's what you're thinking every stroke. And then you're adding to it, oh, I'm making a mistake. I'm making a, and wonder why we swim like this. Because we're so thinking and so blocked. But how can you get rhythm and how can you get balance? Because nobody's teaching you that rhythm and balance is the most important thing. I can show you 15,000 different strokes where people swim a hell of a lot faster than you people do. Yes, but it's important. Is it important? I have a backstroker that swims as fast as Andrew Potts in 1988. Andy Potts, he's a great swimmer, right? Supposedly. Well, yay, it's pool swimming. In triathlon, he's okay. But I can tell you, the backstroker that went to the Olympics I told you all about, because we had to switch him on the back, I didn't tell you that. You know when they told you they wrecked the guy? Remember the guy I told you who went 16 and went 147 and finished up 154 and I went and got him? I saved that story for now because guess what? There was a happy ending. I drove 1,200 kilometres, put him in my car, drove him back to Queensland, put him in my squad, and he said, I'm ruined. I said, what are you talking about? He said, I'm ruined. I can't swim anymore. I got the Olympics coming up in 3 years and I'm finished. I said, it depends how much you want to work. What do you mean? I said, I'll make it. We'll go to the Olympics. How are we going to go to the Olympics? Look at this. I switched him on his back. And he swam everything backstroke for the next 3 years. Every main set. He did it in the freestyle lane that he used to be in, at the back. Doing backstroke. I'm not a backstroker. I was never a backstroker. I said, mate, I'll make you a backstroker, believe me. So he'd do 8K backstroke sessions. He'd do 10K backstroke sessions. And then when he got good enough, I put a bloody band on him. So if you think doing freestyle with a band's hard, you can imagine doing band with a backstroke? Because I had to get his arms in the right spot because he wasn't a natural backstroker. Okay? So he was great for me because not only did I get him to the game, we went to the Olympics, he made the final in the backstroke. 2:01 for 200 backstroke. Not too bad in 1988. Okay? So think about 2:01 in 1988 doing backstroke for a non-backstroke. Well, how does that relate to our freestyle stroke? He's swimming faster than Andy Potts doing backstroke. And again, I did one of my other favourite things. I like making fun of the triathletes, because I had a German actually come and stayed with him, one of his old mates for the Olympics, and he did triathlon. And meanwhile, he got third in the World Championship 200 backstroke. He come and stayed with Carl when I was, and at that stage I'd been switched over. So 1991, one of his old mates come out. So he said, I do triathlon for fun. I said, is that really good? So I'm on a rest. So he used to train 7 hours a day doing triathlon. So we took him to a race once. I said, I'll tell you what, we got all the pros were there, whatever. I said, let's do something fun. I said, what do you mean? He said, I'll put you in the pros and you swim backstroke the whole way. And he said, yeah? You think I beat them? I know you beat them. And so he did. So we turned up, all the pros are there, and I got my young pros, so they think they're geniuses or whatever. And I said, what's he doing here? He's in the age group. I said, no, he's going to the pros today. So I put him in the pros, take him out, go, and then he turned over. And he swam the whole damn thing backstroke, was first out of the water. He did that the whole way up the thing because of course he was quite full of himself. And so he goes up, ah, you're Australians, you're shit! Jumped on the bike and away he went. Showed how hard he was because I've got a couple of Germans there, because he crashed the bike. So he come in and he had blood pissing out of him everywhere. He goes, yeah, flesh wound. And he ran the 10K and everybody couldn't believe it, like broke his collarbone, but that's a great day. Okay, we're taking him to the hospital now and we get you all sorted out. So he didn't swim backstroke for another 4 months after that. The point was though, he beat everybody, all the pros out of the world. Now hang on, what technique was he using? Wasn't using freestyle technique, but he still swam faster. So I want to make that point to you. Let's not get overindulged here. I've got butterflies that could swim faster than the girls out of the water. Okay? Before you start telling me, oh God, but you don't understand, I don't understand. I had a girl that swam the 800 freestyle, and she went 2:12 for 200 fly. She did the 800 freestyle in Australia in her age group and got third, and we did butterfly the whole time. So she dived in and butterflied the 800, okay, and went 8:48. Well, Nicola Sperry couldn't break 10 minutes if her arsehole was on fire. She's the Olympic champion. This girl done butterfly. So what about that technique? So can we start to loosen up a bit about how important it is that you guys have got to take 36 strokes and you've got to put your hand in at your nose? Can we loosen up a little bit about that? Because when you do backstroke, you do not put your hand in at your nose. Okay? But there's another good reason, because with that guy, but we'll get to that, we'll get to the third part of his story later, because I trained him since he was a baby. So I seen them break him, and I seen myself fix him, and then all of a sudden he come back, and at that Olympics, he actually swam the 200 freestyle in the relay in the heats, because one of the guys got sick and couldn't swim. So they didn't have somebody to swim the heats, and they didn't want to use the top guy because he was a genius and doing everything else. So they said, we got nobody to swim in the heats. So of course, I said, throw Carl in. I said, you're joking. And he said, are you insane? I haven't swum freestyle for 3 years. And the coach said, do you really think he can do it? I said, mate, put him in. And put him last. So then he said, all right, I'll do it, but I've got to go second or third. And the coach that looked after the 200 said, you're going last. He said, I'm not going to do it. Everybody's going to watch the whole world collapse around me, you know what I mean? He said, 154. I said, shut up, you're going last. Well, of course, he swam 148.8. And he held the team together, and in fact, he actually improved the team's position. Why? We got rid of because he hadn't done it for 3 years. The only time he ever swam freestyle was recovery, warm-up, warm down, main set, or backstroke. So then when he dived in, and he was shitting himself because he thought he was going to let Australia down in front of 12 million people or something, he just went into his normal routine. Because we swam out. So that's another point, I can assure you. Sometimes practicing a bad mistake only makes the mistake worse. It doesn't make it better. So if you go, I'm going to really practice harder at getting this right. No. All you're doing is making it worse because you're positive reinforcing the mistake. So do we understand where we're coming from as we start to get to that area? So number one is you've got to get in the water. We don't go to the gym and reinforce mistakes. Okay? Yes, Michael Phelps can go to the gym. Because if he swims 12 times a week and he swims 8K every session, how many arm movements is he doing positively? Per week, per year, work it out, per decade. So going in and doing lat pull downs is not going to affect his technique. But it's going to kill yours because you don't have a technique. So then we've got 2 extra sessions. But I don't go to the pool because number 2, the most important, go to the pool but do something you enjoy doing. So if you don't enjoy swimming, because most people go, oh God, swimming drives me insane, I hate it. It's the one thing I hate. All age groupers, oh I hate it. All the women, oh God, I don't like it, oh, it's terrible. Why? Because they're not very good at it. Because then they're trying to swim the correct technique and they can't do it. So when I say to them, let's find what you like doing. How do you mean? Put the pool buoy in. Yes, but that's not swimming. Don't care. Oh, but do you like swimming with that? Oh, I like swimming with that. Good. Here's a bigger one. How big can you get it before you feel awkward? But that's not swimming. Yes, it is. You're getting in the water. Can you swim? I like swimming with that. I'll go swimming with that. Put the paddles on, because then you move that way. So then if you've got the person going up and down, 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 and you're going 4 times a week or 3 times a week minimum, and you're actually enjoying it, if that means you've got to swim bad technique to go there and have fun, guess what? Swim bad tech and go there and have fun and go 3 or 4 times a week. You will kill what you do twice a week and trying to do it badly. You will kill it. So the number 2 thing is, get there and enjoy it. How do I enjoy it? It drives me insane. Well, let me tell you something. You're not thinking about it the correct way. What's the one thing? You got the world crushing you. I've got kids, I've got family, I've got work. Oh my God, my head's... Where can I go where I can get away from everything? Tell me, where can you go? You can't go to the coffee shop, we can't get away. We've got people go there and there, we go over there. But if I told the coach to go over and stick his head in the water there, take a big breath, the world disappears. So then you say to yourself, well, I'm going to go to the pool to get away from everything. This is my little hour of peace of mind by myself. Yeah, but I'll still get bored. Well, we've got an iPod for $48. If you buy a bike for $15,000, you can pay $80 for an iPod because the $89 iPod is completely waterproof. So you can have the same music you're running with on the back of your cap strap with your and away you go. And I've got people who do that, and they've got their music on. They don't even talk to me because they can't hear me because they're blah, 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 blah. And next thing sometimes I got people write me saying, I was in the water for 2 hours. I forgot what time it was. I was just having such a good time. Okay, so it's not sports science. It's practicality. So straight away I go to the pool, I get in because I enjoy it. I put my music on, I don't give a shit about anybody. I'm doing something I enjoy, it's nothing hard for me, and away